Hey everyone, in this video I would like to cover question number 6 on HMMT November 2023, the general round. So the level of this question is going to be like excellent, right? So here we go. We got some A, B, C, D out there. So I need to sketch the square, right? So we got A and B and C and D. And a circle passing through A is tangent to segment CD at T, right? So there must be some circle. Not sure whether I can actually sketch it in a very nicer form, but we have this figure out there, and then there's going to be, of course, you know, like the circumcenter. And how do I find circumcenter? You got to drop the perpendicular bisector of the chord. You got to drop the perpendicular bisector of that chord. And we found some center out there. I would like to call it as O. Okay. Now, what does it state? It states that the circle passing through A is tangent to segment CD at T and meets AB and AD again at X and Y respectively. All right, so I got X out here. So that becomes my X. This becomes my Y. All right, so check this out. Do you notice that these are 90? If that's 90, that must be circumdiameter. Remember, the hypotenuse of a right triangle becomes a circumdiameter of a circumcircle, okay? So we got this XY has a length of 6. That's been given to us. Given that XY equals 6, you need to find AT. All right, so probably that becomes my T. And check this out. I need to find AT. So probably in order to find AT, and I understand that these are, you know, like a 90 degree, probably I got to use Pythagorean theorem, right? So Pythagorean theorem. So in order to use Pythagorean theorem, probably it's going to be best if I know what AD is. I know what AD is, and that it's going to be great for us if I know what DT is. So that is what we need to know. All right, so what do I know about AD? Well, I know that that becomes 5 squared. What do I know about DT though? Well, what am I missing out here? I don't know. Let's just try to see what we're missing. I know these are 3. Why? Because OT is supposed to be just, you know, like OT is supposed to be the length OX and OD because those are the circumradius. And I know what OA is. So let me see. Do I know anything about this length here? I think I know what that is because that's supposed to be 2. Why? Because the whole side length A and, you know, AD is supposed to be parallel to that given segment. It's not just parallel, they're congruent. And I also noticed that these are 3 as well. All right, so we're almost done because I know how to find DT because DT is going to be congruent to that much, you know, like at half of the chord. Right. So pretty much I have a triangle that just looks like O and A, and shall I call this as P out here? So if I call it P, well, we got APO. These are 2, these are 3, and I know that AP is supposed to be just root 5. So AP is exactly congruent to DT. So I would say that becomes root 5 squared. Well, these are all 25 plus 5, and that becomes 30, right? So since we get AD squared and DT squared, like the sum of all those values, that turns out to be AT squared, and AT is supposed to be rad 30. AT is supposed to be square root of 30, and that shall be it.